Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Give me a quick second. Welcome to College and Career Day. So hold tight, okay?
So I am in the right one.
Yes, you are in the right one.
Miss, guess what I'm watching right now?
You want?
Netflix. On Netflix.
All right, hold tight, please.
어차피 나중에 있어야 돼.
You all, I'm so sorry I had to handle something. But thank you all for being here. And I want to thank our wonderful speaker that's here today, Miss Leslie Fishburn. Hi, Miss Leslie. She just said hi. Can you guys say hi, Miss Leslie?
Hi, Miss Leslie.
Awesome.
Hi,
Miss Leslie. Hey, D2. Hi, everybody. Hi, Priscilla. So you guys, today, Miss Leslie is going to share with you all about how to be an interior designer. Do you guys know what that means? What is it?
No, but it looks like a pasture.
Can somebody tell me
I know
what does an interior designer do?
is.
Tell me.
What it is a person that designs the inside of buildings and such as.
Yes, absolutely. So they help to place all the things inside of, sometimes when you walk into a building, or, if you walk into your house, or if you're at a friend's house, or if you're at a hotel and you walk into a room and you feel some kind of way, you're like, oh, this room feels warm, or it feels
It has a good vibe.
Yeah, there you go. So the vibes of the room based on like the furniture, the painting,
The energy,
the art.
basically.
I
said the energy of the room.
The energy of the room, absolutely. Because remember, the energy of the room will depend on what's actually in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Miss Leslie's going to tell you more about that, and as we get started, I'm gonna have her. I'm gonna have you share, Miss Leslie, and dive right
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come back up here.
Some good light right here.
Okay. Can you guys all see my screen? Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Okay, well, just to give you a little background, I'm an interior designer, and I've been in the industry. I graduated from the University of Oklahoma in 1986 with a Bachelor of Arts in Interior Design. And there are many different types of degrees that you can get to practice interior design. You don't necessarily have to get a bachelor's degree. There are some schools that you can go to that have programs that are specifically geared towards interior design. But I didn't know what I wanted to do when I started college. So I took a class to find out what I would like to do. And it gave me a list of options, and interior design was one of the options. And so that's what I majored in. And it's been a great career. I moved to California in 1987 and started working for a small interior design firm. And and then eventually started working for an architecture firm. And so architecture firms do the outside of the building. And so I work in a place where I work with the architects when they're designing the building to then do the inside of the building too. And we also do furniture, artwork, all of the finishes that go into a space. And so what I wanted to kind of share with you guys today, and I think Miss Christelle has a little exercise for you guys, but I wanted to kind of show you some examples of spaces and different types of space, and how you can really make a space feel better just by a few things. So this is kind of what I've got up on the screen. This is kind of one of our logos from the firm that I work for, that are interior designers and design environments that engage and inspire people who will use them. And so, and this, I wanted to bring up some images because I think the exercise Miss Christelle is going to have you do, these are some spaces, these are some very drab spaces. I mean, when you look at these pictures, does this make anybody happy to look at these pictures? It doesn't really.
It looks nice.
Well, and here are some spaces like, look, and again, just looking at, this is like an office space, this is a hospital space here, and then this is like a school space. And so we just always wondered why would you want to work in a space like this when this is what really makes us happy? So what do you guys think when you look at these images? Does this inspire you? Does this make you joyful?
Yes.
So bringing color and shapes and things into a space can really help. So, and these are some images from a TED Talk that an interior designer did, Ingrid Fattel Lee, and she's probably someone that I really admire as far as a designer. She did a lot of research on color and shape and what makes people happy. And so, and then this is a place, and this is in Japan, and they actually wanted to design a house that would make people live longer. So they added all of this color, and this is a really crazy space when you go into it, like the floors are not level, and it makes you feel sort of silly and playful and happy. So, so now I'm going to share with you just a few things. This is the firm that I work for, HKS, and they actually are the architects that designed the Inglewood Stadium, so which is just open and is right there in your neighborhood. So these are some early renderings, but one of the things to kind of make the stadium more pleasant and beautiful, they used all these curved shapes to develop the shape of the building. So these were early renderings. These are drawings. They're not actual photographs. And then these are the actual photographs of the finished building. So, and in the interiors in there, again, we work with them to pick out all of the materials that go into those spaces. This is actually the type of work I specialize in are actually hospitals. And this was a huge hospital in China that we designed. And from the outside, it doesn't look very welcoming or attractive, but we use lots of windows and natural light. And this is the inside of the space. So again, you see all the natural light and all how how kind of happy and bright the space feels. And then this is another corporate space that I recently finished. And again, we used color in the ceiling and on the walls and pops of color on all of the walls to kind of bring life and happiness to a workspace. And again, this is actually a hospital space, and we were able to add a mobile with a lot of color, and the fabrics on the furniture, we brought in a lot of color to make it really happy. And then this is Martin Luther King Medical Center. And this is actually the medical office building we just finished for them. And again, we used a lot of neutral colors to make it timeless, but then we bring in these pops of colors to kind of bring life and color to the space. And then this is another facility down in San Diego that's also a healthcare facility. And again, we had great views of the mountains down in San Diego. So it brought in a lot of natural light, and we put color on the walls. So that's kind of what I had to share with you, Miss Christelle. I don't know if we wanted, so do you guys have questions for me or want to know anything else about just kind of how you become an interior designer? Or are any of you interested in design?
Can you make like shapes of it?
Make shapes? Sure.
Mama, you
How long did you have to go to school to learn interior design?
So I had a 4-year degree, but it took me 5.5 years. So, but that was because I was not as motivated at school and I was working part-time. So, but again, it was a bachelor's degree. So it was kind of a standard 4-year degree. And there are a lot of like Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach has a great interior design program. And I think, Otis Art School is right near where I live. They have a great art school. That's probably a little more expensive. I think the private schools, I think if you can get into some of the Cal States, a lot of them have great interior design programs. But there are also certificates. So there's also people like interior decorators who maybe don't get involved as much with architecture. They may just do furniture and finishes and like rugs and pillows and things like that. And so those are usually like a 2-year sort of certificate that you can get. And I know there are a couple of programs, and I'm trying to remember, but in LA, I think there are a couple of UCLA Extension has a 2-year program, and some other schools offer sort of shorter time frame degrees. So I don't know. Hey, Christelle. So do we want them to do the exercise or?
Yes. So I want to get some of your feedback from some of the slides that Miss Leslie was showing you. And she talked about spaces that were bleak, right? Have you guys ever been to an office that looked like, I'm gonna show it to you. Ever been to an office that looked like this? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe it's at an office, or maybe in a school, or maybe just like in just another
Library.
space. And so when you look at so what were some things you guys notice about this space aside from it being that it doesn't have people in it? What do you notice? What are some things you noticed about it?
It's bland.
It's bland, yes. So bland meaning like what colors do you see?
Just
White.
black and white.
White. Miss Tracy, I see you talking, but you're muted.
There's no other color, just white and black.
Black and white,
So
gray.
it's just white and black.
a bit of
Mhm.
gray with a pinch of black mixed with gray.
Yes. So it has black and gray. It just feels like, ugh, right? So, like Miss Leslie shared in her slides, we want to add joy. to this room?
Like a rainbow.
Hmm?
Like a rainbow.
Yes, like a rainbow. And so, like Miss Leslie shared, when we add joy to the room, now when you walk into this room, because you may walk into this room and feel like, oh, this room feels cold. It feels like, kind of empty and bare. It doesn't feel warm, right? And so we want to make this room feel warm. So your activity is going to be, I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to put some different links in the chat of a picture of an empty room or just an empty space. And your activity is to add the joy to the room like an interior designer does. Okay. And so I'm going to put, I know I have a picture of a school, the locker room. Have you guys ever walked down your locker, like maybe at a high school or?
My mom used to with her sister.
And so how can you add joy to that hallway? So I'm going to put some different links in there, and I want you to use your Annotate tool. Okay, so on your computer, you're going to take the link that I'm going to drop in here. So this one is the gray lockers in the hall. I'm going to put it down. So you can choose which one you want to.
What if we chose all of them?
That's fine. So you can design and do the interior design for as many of these as you like. I'm also going to put this other one of this same room, and on your Annotate tool, I want you to, do you guys know how to annotate?
No, it just gives me pictures on Google.
Right, so it's going to give you the picture. So then you're going to take the picture, and on your Annotate tool, so when you look on your screen and you click on more, it'll say Annotate. And on the Annotate, you can write with your pencil on it. You can put colors on it. And so I want you to take your Annotate tool and I want you to make that room come alive. Add the joy to all this, to the spaces.
Miss, can you show me?
Oh, the Annotate?
Yeah, like can you put the link in your thing and then show me how to do it?
Sure. Actually, so I'll do it on mine. So let me put Office Space in the chat for you.
And I was also gonna say, not all of us have the same computer, so Zoom doesn't work all the same. Because for example, with me and Mr. Casey, when I'm doing tutoring on Thursdays,
yeah,
I have to give him permission to annotate.
Okay. Well, that's if you're sharing. That's if you guys are doing the remote control and sharing the same screen. But remember, you're doing this on your computer. And if the thing is, if your Annotate is not working, grab a piece of paper. Grab a piece of paper and a pencil with some colors. And I want you to make your space. So like I'm going to share this picture again. And I'm going to go to my Annotate tool up here. I'm going to go to and maybe I'm going to make this, let's use
like that.
Actually, no, I think I will use that one. So so you see me put in the color, right? Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. So take your picture and you're just going to annotate right onto it and make.
Miss, mine is different from yours.
And that's okay. So if you can't do it on your computer, you can grab a piece of paper and you can look at this room, or you can even share with me, what would you do to this room? What else how would you bring the joy into this room?
We can put different colors on the wall.
Ooh, what color would you like?
Neon colors.
Which one?
Neon colors?
A neon? Oh, neon colors. So like neon comes like in a green, like this green?
A blue.
Okay. So you want to put a blue. So maybe like right here.
Like a rainbow.
So you guys on your screens, if you can annotate, I want you to make the space, decorate it how you would like it, and then you're gonna hit save on your annotate tool and send me your picture. So you can hit save and then you can send it to my email, and I'm actually gonna put my email in the chat. And so you can send me what you did to make your space. How did you bring joy to the room? And this is what an interior designer does.
Can I share my screen too? Can you tell me how to annotate mine so I can share my screen?
Also, remember, so when you are annotating, it should be where it says more on your computer. On your little bar at the bottom, it should say more and say annotate. Well, the thing is, you got to open up your picture first.
I already did.
Great. How are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm trying to figure out.
Pretty okay?
I'm trying to figure out how to annotate.
We're doing good. We're just finding our space.
Okay, got you.
I was gonna say, I'm also gonna go on this thing called Pixelar.
Mm-hmm.
It's this little website where you're actually supposed to do Pixelar E.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like a thing where you're able to draw your own things, make your own backgrounds, and stuff like that. And hold up, I'm gonna get on this with my computer.
Okay. So in this activity time, the thing is, you can go to Google and you can Google. I was gonna show you guys.
Miss, I'm gonna show you something right now.
Okay. Oops.
Can you see?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, Miss. I don't know where the annotation thing.
Okay, so now you're gonna go to. I don't think we'll see it on our side, but on your side, at the top of your bar, it'll say annotate.
Can you repeat that again?
On your bar, like where it says share, it should say annotate. Do you see that?
No. Where it says more?
Yes. Does it say annotate where you see more?
No, it just says start video chat or leave.
Interesting. Okay. Every device is different, so I know that part. So the thing is, if your annotate is not working, you can grab a piece of paper, and just like the locker, just like how this room has this hallway is just locker straight down. Take your colors and your markers, your crayons, you can grab them really fast. And how are you going to make this space have joy? And if somebody else wants to share theirs, you can share your, I'll let you share your screen and you can show me what you've come up with. Or you can share your screen and annotate on it. And so, and you can show us where you're going to add your joy to the room, to your space.
Do I stop share?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Thank you for sharing, Destiny. Samantha, Priscilla, if you guys want to share, if you guys want to tell us. Yes, D2, I see your hand. Oh, who's sharing here? Oh, D2, I see you sharing. Wonderful. Okay, awesome. All right, go for it.
I like that image. That brings me joy.
Right?
Okay, I was gonna say, ooh, that's lag. Okay. I was gonna say, this is pixel letter E. Is basically, so what you do is you go create new, name your document or whatever you want, but you leave it blank. Do create, and then it's just you're able to do whatever you want, draw whatever you want. So, for example, I let's say Google office space.
No.
Get like
Yeah, so you can choose a space that's blank. Like I put a park. I put the locker room, and I put the office. So you could choose whichever one, and or if you want to choose a different space altogether, add joy to the room.
You can spell the word right.
Okay, now I got it.
No, pick one.
So first example, I'm just gonna pick this one. I'll just copy the image, add their image. Ooh, I need to take a snapshot. I actually need to take a snapshot of this, not a thing. Let's take control. This.
That's a
Control. Okay. And I just cut it.
So you guys, just like how D2 is grabbing an image just from Google, you can grab an image from Google and annotate on that, or even if you're using Word or if you're using software like this, anything that just allows you to write on the screen of the picture and add the joy.
Okay.
However you do it is fine. You flex fine.
Don't mind messages.
What'd you say?
Miss, look, I have neon colors.
Nice. Okay, great. You're gonna do yours on paper. Woo-hoo. Do yours on paper, you guys, if you don't have the annotate, and show us. I want to see. So your activity for the end of this, I want to see how you made your space have joy as an interior designer. Okay, nice. What's that, D2? Looks good.
Where- It's just very laggy.
Okay, no problem. But go back to your picture though. You're doing a good job with your picture. So finish adding some joy to the room. And then if there's anybody else that wants to share their screen, you can share your screen and show us how you're adding joy to your room and keep working on it. And then you guys can show us what it looks like all together at the end. Priscilla, Samantha, how about you guys? How are you coming along?
It's fine. I'm just drawing it.
Okay,
So I
nice.
don't
Okay,
have
so
much
feel free to
color yet.
share with us yours. Do you mind sharing with us yours when you're
Yeah,
when you're
when I'm somewhat done, I'll share it.
wonderful. Awesome. How about you, Priscilla?
I'm still working on it.
Oh, you said your connection isn't okay. Okay, Priscilla, I know you said your connection is not good. I hear you, but feel free to write in the chat too. So type in the chat and let me know how it's coming along for you. Awesome. Okay, I see you, Priscilla. You said you're working on it. Wonderful.
Miss, can you see? I think I know how to annotate now.
Okay, come on, you figured it out. I see your picture down there at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you click on it, are you going to see to open it, Destiny?
That's cute.
I don't do it.
Whoa, you got in the window.
No, no,
Is
that's
that the
not.
window? That's the desk space.
So double click. Uh-oh.
I got it. I need to annotate. Guess what I did?
Would you say you're going to add what to it?
I gotta annotate. Guess what? I have another way. I can put my paper, I can draw it, and then I can color it.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see here. This will allow me to. And Miss Leslie, can you tell us about like colors? What do we need to know about colors when it comes to colors in a room and
You
interior
know,
design?
well, I think typically you don't want to have too much color in a room. When we're designing space, we usually try to pick like a certain wall within an area or something like that to apply color to. And there are colors that have certain can give certain moods. So like in a hospital, we would never use red because red is sort of a vibrant, can agitate people, and also red is the color of blood, and so they don't like to have that represented in a hospital. But there are colors like greens and blues are calming, and so there are certain colors. It depends on the type of space. If you want a really calm space, and I've somehow like gotten myself off. I'm not seeing you guys anymore. I don't know what I did here. Okay, now I'm back. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
But yeah, so yellow is a happy color, but it's also a color we don't use in hospitals a lot. I mean, they've started using it more, but it used to be when we would present to doctors and nurses, that yellow was the color of urine, so they didn't like yellow. So it's like usually it depends. I mean, and there's a lot of psychology behind colors and the emotions it can evoke. And so I'm very careful when using color, because it's you want the space to feel bright and happy and playful, but you don't want it to be overwhelming and distracting to where like there's too much going on in a space to where so like in schools and stuff, they would want to use more like probably blues and greens and things like that help calm you, keep you focused. And then in places like play areas and stuff like that, you would use like reds and pinks and lively colors that would then sort of be more exciting colors and stimulating colors.
What about colors for like in an office space?
In an office space, I think it depends on the kind of office space. So like if people are all working in computer workstations and things like that, you may want to have an area that has a big vibrant space. It was kind of like the office space that we did, that the cafe, we did a lot of color in, but the rest of the office space was fairly neutral. So people maybe work in a more calming sort of environment if they're focused work, but they have the ability to walk out into another space that would then, they could just kind of rejuvenate and feel happy.
Awesome.
So yeah, color's very important in just creating moods. And is that you, Christelle, drawing? That's looking good.
Yes, that is me drawing.
That looks good.
That is me drawing, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, have you guys ever seen or ever heard the statement when they say, I know Miss Leslie said it, but like a statement wall, or when they say a pop of color? Have you guys ever heard someone say that? Yeah. Oh, Miss Tracy, yeah.
I've heard of a pop of color.
Yeah.
D2 said he hasn't heard of a pop of color.
Okay.
No.
So a pop of color statement wall is something that you're even in your house. We're doing this activity, but I'm doing this activity so you guys can think about in your home. When you think of colors, you think of how you have things placed. You may want to add more joy, or you may want to look at certain colors, to have a different kind of feeling in a different room. Yes.
Instead of doing these, can I do something else?
Yeah, you can choose a different, you can Google and choose a different space.
And then
Choose a stadium, like Miss Leslie was showing you, the SoFi Stadium, or if you want to choose a park, or if you want to choose any space that you would like, that you want to add joy to, because I think there's joy in lots of places that you go to, and you just sometimes have to pay attention to see, like, oh, there's the joy, there's the splash, there's the pop, there's the curve. Hmm?
Can you stop share real quick? I'm gonna show you. I mean this look.
You want to show us? Okay, show us what you got. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to choose this space. You're going to choose that room?
Yes, I'm gonna choose this one.
That's a good one. And how are you going to make this space have joy?
By colors, different colors.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you guys' final stuff. And after you guys, after you all share, or after you finish, before you share, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about Miss Leslie. How many years does it take for to become an interior designer? What kind of degree do you need to have?
Well, I got a bachelor's degree, so it was a 4-year degree. But but there are I think I was saying there are some other schools that have 2-year certificates to where you know, and I don't have the list off the top of my head, but there are schools where you can get a certificate in interior design, and I have a couple of designers in my office that did that, and then with that, what you can do is there are different tests you can take. There's an NCIDQ test that makes you gives you a professional designation. So, and like I became a licensed interior designer, so I have a certificate that sort of gives me more credibility. We compete with architects a lot on interior spaces, so. So anyway, so it's anywhere from 2 to 4 years for a degree, and depending on the program you're in, but they're all different kinds. And there's also like people become interior decorators, and sometimes like people just have a knack for that, and you don't really even need a degree to be a decorator, and like go into people's home and recommend like, like furniture, fabrics, wall covering, and applied finishes. You don't typically get involved in construction, like tearing down walls and things like that, when you're a decorator. But that's another avenue that people can take, is become an interior decorator. And there are lots of specialties in that. Like you can do window coverings or furniture, I mean, there are different like specialties. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like there's some companies like 3-Day Blinds does all different kinds of window coverings, and a lot of the people that work in those stores are interior decorators, and they'll help you pick out the proper window coverings and come out and measure and figure out what you need. And so there are lots of different aspects to interior design. I think there's also product design. I mean, people will go into designing furniture and things that are more industrial. They call it kind of industrial design, where you learn how to make different items, like even mechanical items and things like that in industrial design. They do everything, any kind of products. A lot of times an industrial designer would have worked on that. And the school I went to was the degree I got, it was through the School of Environmental Design. So it was landscape, architecture, interior design, and construction science. And we all started out together and did basic design together. And then as you kind of grew in your specialty, then you would branch off and do classes that were specifically for either architecture, interior design, or landscape design. So that's another avenue. A lot of people really enjoy doing gardens and landscape design. And so that's another avenue of design that people can pursue. So when I was getting my degree, I had all of these mix of people in my classes in the beginning, and we all learned basic design together. And that's where you would learn more sort of drawing and sketching, and they would give you just different assignments, like draw a shape and then develop it 3 different ways and make a 3D model of it and do these different things with it. And it was really interesting to see how different everybody's like from the same concept, everybody would come up with something different. And so there's lots of different options in getting a design degree.
When you're in your classes, do you actually do practicum work, where you go out to different places and practice, or is it all just work that you do in the classroom?
When I went to school, so you guys have to remember, I graduated in 1986, and so there weren't even computers then. So it was like a totally different, but no, we did all classroom, and I learned all hand drawing. So I didn't even so the computer, I had to learn when I was working how to draw. Now it's all computer programs like AutoCAD and Revit are the programs that we use to draw plans. I used to hand draw plans, and now everything's in the computers. So it's I think nowadays it's very different than my experience in school, but I think kids are much smarter. Like all of you are already computer savvy. When I was your age, there were no computers, and even when I first started working, there were no computers. So I think now, I think a lot of the programs they have we like at our firm, we have internships. So once somebody's completed 1 year of school, they can apply for an internship, and we have a lot of summer interns that come in and work for just the summer, and we pay them. It's not like it's free, they don't get paid, but so they can come in and experience working in an office and see what it's like. And most firms do that, and we compete a lot of times for the students that are really talented and stuff. So
Do you find that it's easier to use the computer than to draw the designs?
Computer is much faster, and nowadays, like when you put it into the computer, you can immediately, like, you can draw a 2D floor plan, and then the drawing program that you're working in, you can take a view and it'll show you a 3D view. When I would do all hand drawings, I mean, I'd have to actually draw the 3D view. So it would take me, 6 hours to draw a room that now, if you just put the floor plan in and hit 3D view, it pops up. and so it's become a lot more evolved, and that's why things like the stadium with all those curved ceilings, and I don't know if you've seen Frank Gehry's concert hall, the Disney concert hall downtown, with all those curved elements. I mean, without a computer, you could never design a building like that. I mean, it's really, it's amazing how much it's changed and advanced in just the 30 years that I've been in the industry. So, but
Nice.
wow, look at that.
Nice.
Who is that? Is that D2?
It's actually me and my mom.
It looks great, you guys. And you even put, is that a plant over on the side?
Yes.
I love that. That looks
That's
amazing.
I drew a plant. I was trying to do my polka dot wall, but he
I
would.
like that. He wouldn't let you do the polka dot wall.
Hey, don't too late. I already seen it.
He designed it and shared it to me.
It looks amazing. That's great. That's a happy space.
Yeah. Wonderful, D2 and Miss Tracy. That looks good. Anybody else want to share?
We gotta take a picture of our thing.
Is anybody else ready?
Wait, where's the picture?
You please.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so while you guys are, so let me know, in your reactions, you can either put a thumbs up if you need, do you need a little bit more time to finish your piece? Because you can still keep working. I'm actually going to share another component. So just let me know. You can give me a thumbs up, or you can just let me know. You can unmute yourself and say, I'm still working. So, so I like Miss Leslie shared about where she, about, so we know that her major is in interior design. Miss Leslie, she graduated from the University of Oklahoma. All right. And I'm going to give you guys a hint. You want to listen to these questions because I'm going to spin the wheel for hint for Wooten dollars. That's going to go towards your next Wooten dollar store. But those of you who answer the questions correct, you're going to get Wooten dollars. Okay. So keep your ear open as you're working. So Miss Leslie, she graduated from the University of Oklahoma. Her major is in interior design. When I asked her what she's most passionate about, she said, I really enjoy working in healthcare projects and the fact that it has an impact on people. I asked her, what does she love most about her career? She says, helping others grow in their careers. Her two favorite hobbies, cooking and gardening. And how many years has she been in her career? 33 years. What'd you say? Say it again. I don't know. I think put it in the chat, Destiny. It's hard to hear you. Uh-oh. All right. Another thing I want to share with you all is I want to share with you all when you are the different levels of higher education. And I know some of you guys know this already, but you're going to see it. So, of course, you have elementary and middle school, and then you have your high school. You're going to go to high school, then you get your associate's degree. Can someone read what's the next one after your associate's degree? What do you get?
Bachelor's degree.
A bachelor's degree, and then your master's, and at the very top you can get a PhD. So that means you have a doctorate degree. Okay, and so those are the different levels of higher education. And along with that, you also want to know that when you are in high school, you have to also make sure that you have your A through G requirements. So when you're taking all the classes that you're taking even right now, you want to make sure you have history, English, math, and you see how many years there, right? You see the little cap that shows how many years? So for history,
I cannot say.
Ooh, Destiny, you have to put it in the chat. It's hard to hear you. It's chopping you up like. For history, so type it in the chat for me, Destiny. For history, you need 2 years of, 2 years are required, okay? So they'll have required and they'll have recommended, okay? For English,
Look at my page.
4 years. Ooh. Destiny, that looks, let me see, hold on. Let me spotlight you here. So tell us what's on your page.
So what's on my page is I put these like this, like a swirly line. And then I put this just like if they put blocks, but I put my neon colors and I put a bow right here. And then I make loud doors, and then I put polka dot, ladybug polka dots with pink, black, and red and pink. And then I made this fluffy day window and some arms.
Nice.
That is awesome.
That's very happy, very joyful, very nice.
Wonderful, Destiny.
I like your shirt too. It's very happy. Is that a unicorn?
Is it a llama?
A llama. Okay.
It says llama corn.
A llama corn.
Not unicorn.
Ah,
Like a unicorn, but it's a llama corn. That's great.
that's awesome. Thank you so much, Destiny.
Usually Sophia's talking.
So
I think
with
she's frozen.
yeah.
There, she's
So-
back.
Yes. So Destiny, you're going to need 2 years of history, 4 years of English when you're in high school. And these are requirements that you need for Cal States and for UCs. Okay. And for math, 3 years are required and 4 years are recommended, right? So if you take 4 years of math, that's even better for when you're getting ready to go to those universities. Same for science, you need 3 years recommended, foreign language, 3 years recommended, visual and performing arts, 1 year, college prep elective, 1 year. So all of these classes, like in our activities at the Wooten Center, that's why we have world languages and culture with cooking, because that's for the foreign language. Your math, in your tutoring, English, in your tutoring, in your history and science. You're doing all those things in your different classes at school, and we can assist you with with those different activities as well. And so all these classes are classes that you need to have when you graduate from high school to go to college. And so your teacher, you're going to hear this even as you get into high school and you're moving up to that next level, you're going to hear about those A through G requirements. And you want to make sure you have all of your A through G requirements together. And then that gives you that knowledge. So you'll be prepared for if you want to be an interior designer or if you want to be an architect. I know some people in here want to be fashion designers, right? So let's see. And correct me let me know if I got this right. I know that Sophia wants to be an animator on YouTube. I know Destiny wants to be a fashion designer. I know Samantha wants to be an animator. I know. Huh? Did someone say something? I know Priscilla wants to be a social worker. I know that Ben, you want to be an entrepreneur? Did I get that right, Ben?
Yes, you did.
Woohoo! And Fire Tablet. Who are you, Fire Tablet? Oh, is that Miss Manuela?
I was gonna say I want to become a robotic.
Michaela, what do you want to do? Oh, what are you saying, D2?
I said I wanted to become a robotic architect.
Yes, and D2 wants to be, you said robotic
architect.
An architect, and what was the other one?
He want to design robots, so he wants to be an architect for robots.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So an engineer. So engineer, you're putting all those things together. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Did I get everybody? Did I say what everybody? I think everybody kind of told me, oh, Michaela. What do you want to do for your career?
Be a detective and solve murders and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's needed. That's needed for sure. For sure. Yeah. And so all of the things that you all want to be are going to help to make an impact in the world. And so as you're doing your work right now, even for school, all of it is getting you towards your becoming an entrepreneur, having your own business, being a stronger artist, to be a great engineer, to know how to communicate with people. And so all these things are preparing you when you're doing all your classes in math and science. All those things are preparing you to be the best that you can be, so you can be a good writer, right? Because if your computer crashes and fails, you still need to know how to write up the report. If your computer dies or your calculator dies, you still need to know how to calculate and solve the problems and put in all the formulas, right? For Miss Leslie, if she walks into a room, she still needs to know, if she doesn't have if she has certain devices or certain tools that she's using, she still needs to know how to create all the room, create all the things and know what to put what and where and what to put in that little space to make sure that all the edges are good and neat and nice and having great energy. So when someone comes into a room, if it's at a hospital, because sometimes when you go into a hospital, sometimes you feel uncomfortable, you may feel a little nervous, depending on what reason you're there for. But if you walk into a hospital and you feel comfortable, the chairs are comfortable, you feel happy, you feel light. Normally, hospitals tend to be a really sad place. But like Miss Leslie's saying, she's able to go into a hospital and put joy in the hospital. So now there's colors and you feel calm. and, you know, the rooms are bright because maybe they have light that's coming in. Like Leslie shared that at, that she's helped to do work at the, it's my hospital right here at
Martin Luther King.
The Martin Luther King Hospital. And when I went there earlier in this year, I was amazed at how like beautiful it was. And I felt comfortable. I felt like I was like in the hotel lobby. I was like, oh, this feels great, you know? And I was waiting for the doctor, you know, I was waiting for my turn, and they had the TV screen, and they had the shows that they were showing it wasn't like boring. It was interesting. But I could see straight outside of the building. And I thought that was amazing that I could see the view of outside versus just it being a wall or maybe a small window. I had this full view. And I was like, wow, this is a totally different feel to being at the hospital. And that's what interior design is all about. You impacting the feel of someone when they walk into the room. Like D2 said, the vibes that they get when they walk into the room. Absolutely. And so this is what Miss Leslie does every day. She gets to help impact. So when people go to the hospital now, they don't feel just totally sad. They walk into the room and they feel like, okay, I know I'm here to see the doctor. I know I may be here for a checkup or whatever, but I don't feel down about it. I feel this room instantly makes me feel a little lifted.
And that helps people heal faster.
Yes.
And so we do a lot of research on that too, because having a nice environment to work or to rest in, if you have views out the window, they've proven that hospital stays are less if you have a window in your room. And that's why now it's required for all hospitals to have a window in the patient room. And it used to, 50 years ago, that wasn't a requirement. So can you imagine being in a hospital bed alone in a room with no windows?
Right.
That would just be terrible. So
yeah, absolutely. So
Miss Chriselle, you are hired. You explain my job better than me. You did a great job. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And you know what, you guys, I'm gonna put the link Miss Leslie shared about her name is
Miss.
Ingrid.
Look, I draw the people in the house that are gonna be with it. They're my favorite Korean girls. First one. Can you spell that?
Yes, I could see it barely there. So those are the ladies that are in the room that you designed.
Yeah, they're Black members.
Awesome, Destiny. Awesome. Yes, Miss Leslie, you're saying the name Ingrid
Patel Lee.
Yes. Awesome. And so I'm actually going to put this link in the chat for you guys, and you can watch this later. And she talks about what Miss Leslie shared with you today about putting joy into a room. And what I want you guys to, when you go into a new space, I want you to see what the joy is in that room. And you probably will pay attention a little closer. You'll be like, oh, there it is. And how does that make you feel when you walk into a room? How does the space of different rooms make you feel? And you can be aware of that and just know that an interior designer helped to make that room feel that kind of way. Or if you're in your home, oh, Priscilla, I see that you said you're finished. If you're at home, so now let's make this applicable to you guys, right? Because you're designing a room, and Priscilla, I'm gonna have you, I don't know if you're ready to share, but you can share next, okay? But just like how we showed, just like how you guys designed the room, your a room in your house, you may want to add joy to the room in a different way, right? And so how can you take what Miss Leslie shared with you guys today about colors, like like she said, playgrounds, and at schools, greens and blues. Miss Leslie, what about for houses?
For houses, it all
Mhm.
depends on the people.
True.
It's like, so, to me, like, again, I tend to I like white. If you have a room with a lot of natural light, white is a great color because it reflects light, and the room changes color during the day. At different times of the day, the color will change in the room. That white will seem different. And but I'll use an accent colors, somewhere. That maybe is a dark corner of a room that doesn't get a lot of natural light or something like that to brighten that area. And I think that's why I didn't go into residential design. So there are also interior designers that focus primarily on homes. I've never worked on homes, and part of it is your clients are usually it's harder to design for individuals in their home because it's so subjective, design and color. And so I think residential design is harder than commercial design. Commercial design, you're designing for, a company or a group, and it's not so personal to them. But when you go into somebody's home and you're designing their home, it's very personal. And so so it depends on the person. I would really say in residential design, I feel like it's harder, but it's also a great avenue to go. And I know a lot of people are very successful doing residential design more than in commercial design. So it just kind of depends on your personality too. If you really like to engage with people and work with them. And, I think residential design is another avenue that is an opportunity.
Awesome.
I don't know if that answered the question. Sorry.
No, that's good, because I think a lot of times when you think interior design, you think just in a house. But like you're saying, it's in a hospital. It's in every building, a hotel, a pharmacy. I mean, when you go to get when you go to your optometrist for your glasses, how that room is positioned is dependent. It could have, it could have depended on a interior designer.
Miss Christelle, for homes, I like earth tone colors or like plants, like if you use the greens in the plants and things like that. I like those type of things in a home. It makes it feel warm and cozy and you want to just sleep or relax.
I agree. I think plants, especially with COVID and spending so much time at home, I've collected a lot more. I have a lot more plants in my house. They're like, and I have time to take care of them too, because I'm home all the time. So I'm sure that's a challenge for everybody, is just being home all the time too. So you want to make your space as happy as it can be.
Absolutely. And I think, Ms. Thomas, like you said, those are great plants. Like how you said, natural tone colors. Sometimes when we look at nature, I think is a good examples of color combinations. Even look at the flowers and look at the colors that are in flowers. Sometimes flowers have like purple and yellow, and I just thought about a flower that I saw, but you can have all these different colors, and when you look at just natural nature, and you can bring that into your home as well, as far as the colors or patterns. So like Destiny, how you're into design, sometimes patterns from flowers or just trees or the leaves, and then they repeat that pattern over and over and over and over and over, and then they make it into a jacket, put it on the wall. They put it on the wall and make that a statement piece, right?
Miss, you know how colors go with joy? I can name some words with joy. Look, there's happiness,
Yeah.
there's friendship, passion, loyalty, trust, wealth, comfort, and power.
That's awesome, Destiny. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Does anyone want to share their completed piece? And even if it's not finished, you can share what you have so far. Show us
Did
what
I
you
already?
put together. Yes, you shared already, Destiny. And so I'm going to have someone else to share and show us what you guys have done. And feel free to just go ahead and share.
Can you guys see?
Nice, Priscilla.
I'm really bad at drawing, so I put pictures. This is like
That's
a book.
great.
Yeah, this is awesome. So you added posters. This is
I
cool.
put,
And I see a plant over there.
I see clouds.
yeah.
That
This is
looks
awesome.
great.
And
That's a nice house.
Mhm.
stickers. I put like a trash can by the door since that's like a lot what I see in school.
Mhm.
I put a poster on the doors because that's what usually they have. Poster
Yeah.
on a painting. Let's just pretend
Awesome.
it on. And a poster of like a book club and drew like a flower right there.
Mhm.
Looks great.
That's wonderful.
It kind
Very
of sounds like
nice.
Miss Marley.
Mhm. That's awesome, Priscilla. Wonderful. Good job.
I have to share something with you. Look. Can you see all the colors?
Yes.
Our
That's
color wheel.
amazing.
Color.
Yep, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's rainbow colors right here. Look, I found them right
Yeah.
here.
That's good stuff. And this color wheel is what you look at when you're painting and when you're
Miss, never use Wikipedia.
well, you can use lots of different resources, right? From Google, from just different websites. Thank you, Destiny. Can I have somebody else to share?
Yeah.
And we have 2 more minutes. So can someone else share what you have so far? How did you bring joy to your space, to your art piece, to what you created?
Who's gonna go?
Let's see. Okay. Well, if nobody else wants to share, it is okay. I know you guys said you were working on some stuff. You could still send it and just take a picture or a snapshot of your screen.
What
Mhm.
do you do?
Huh? Say it one more time. Uh-oh. So you guys can send, I'm actually going to put it down here in the chat. And so you can feel free to send me a picture of what you can send it to my email and show me and send me, let me see what you put together for your piece. Okay, so you can email it to me there. So even if you don't want to share it here, it's okay. All right. So you all, we're at the end of our time. I want to thank you all so much for coming to College and Career Day. Ms. Leslie, can I just tell you thank you so much? Oh, did we lose Ms. Leslie? Are you there?
I'm still
there
here.
You are. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for coming. And
Well, it was really fun. I hope it was fun for the kids. And it was, if you guys ever have questions, I'm in touch with Miss Christelle, and I'm happy to ever, answer
Wait, I had a
questions.
question.
And
What is the first thing you do?
Oh, hold on 1 second, Destiny. Let Miss Leslie finish and then you could share right after.
no, I'm done. So go ahead, Destiny.
What is the first thing you do?
The first thing I do for what?
Or the thing you just told us?
She's an interior designer?
Yeah.
So what's the first?
Yeah.
Do you mean like as far as school or like in my job? What's the first thing that I do when I start a project or?
You're at your job.
So at my job, the first thing I do when I start a project is I meet with the client and I get to understand what they want, and I'll usually have a floor plan and be able to talk through what it is that they would like to see in their space. So it's usually a meeting with a client is the first thing I do.
That's awesome.
And a lot of times I bring pictures with me and I show them pictures of spaces, and then they tell me what they like. And then from that, I can go back and I can put together a design for their space.
That's awesome.
Yay. Well, just for you all being here, you're going to get 10 just for being here. Okay. So everybody is getting something for being here, just for showing up. Now I'm gonna ask just a couple questions really fast, and we're gonna be totally done. Okay. So what university did Miss Leslie graduate from?
University of Oklahoma.
Who said it?
Priscilla.
Who said it? I heard somebody say it.
Priscilla.
Priscilla. Okay, you are absolutely right. Let's spin the wheel. Woohoo! Congratulations. All right, awesome. Next question. What is Miss Leslie's major?
I know it. It's
Go ahead.
it's architecture.
No.
Close enough.
Interior design.
Interior designer.
Wait. I heard somebody else say it right before you, D2. Who was that?
I said it.
Samantha.
Samantha. Good job. All right, Samantha. All right. Woohoo. Come on. All right. Let's see the next one. What's Miss Leslie most passionate about?
Helping people that need help. For example, when they're
You're absolutely right, D2. Good job.
Woohoo!
Good job. Congratulations. Okay, the next one. What are her two favorite hobbies?
Oh, cooking and planting and gardening.
Good job, Destiny.
Oh.
That was a close one.
I know.
Wow.
I'm trying to get you to 10, Destiny.
Oh,
Trying to get you to 10.
And the last question, how many years has Miss Leslie been in her career?
33.
33.
Ben, was that you?
33.
Oh, that's Priscilla?
Priscilla.
Yeah.
All right, 33 years. All right, Priscilla. All right, good job. Congratulations, everyone. You all did wonderful. Thank you all for being here and participating. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys for the next college.
Thank you, Miss Leslie.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. It was so nice to meet all of you.
It's good.
Bye.
Merry
Bye, you all.
Christmas.
Oh,
Bye.
Merry Christmas, you too.
Bye.
Bye.